on... Hold on. Johnny's caught once again, and there's the dunk. Nice, okay. Yeah, it was a clone, but...
which Manta are we talking about? What are we
the Manta on the Morphling. I know he's had it 8 minutes in, so... Oh, this annoying Spirit Breaker, just zoning him away from any chance of a rune. But Io's come in, there's another power shot. With me. Yeah. But I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Cool. Thank you everyone who hung out in the stream tonight. You are all absolute cuties. I really appreciate you, and I can't stream unless you guys are here watching me. And when you see this hero played well, is there anyone on AU Rejects that plays Brood well? Are they banning it just because it's meta? Gooby, or are they...
Gooby and Gachi, 100%. Those two players, even...
It's kind of pretty hype, and so while I think they bought this when they were memeing and having a good time, in this game, when there is just sort of burst damage coming out from Slaughter Gang, it sort of has...
Wind Ranger for AU Rejects, Beastmaster ban, same for Slaughter Gang. Are they actually just going to... And the Brood, so it's two of the same bans from the early game.
Rolling it back. Hey, we know how strong Brood has been.
Like in the numbers, but the amount of saves that the Undying was able to do, and the amount of like, even if it's just like a tombstone save or just the Greaves keeping someone alive, that prevents like 10 to 50 crappy lane with the rotations, like being 2-0-1. He's not like tanking deaths randomly. It's pretty happy. It's all going to be up to Ken Gachi, like, honestly, can he get his shard and can he get in and not die?
Elite Slayer 60-60-60, you know? Like, I want really, really creative names. Oh, okay, let me talk. This is the strongest support in all of Dota. Yeah.
But yeah, Gooby's just getting unpunished playing in their jungle, and he's queued up a Dagon of all things. This is going to be great to see. It's going to be clowny as shit.
Hey, I'll say this. Reverie's been dunked once.
Guarantee you is watching just about every game of Riyadh in some way, shape, or form, and we're all definitely taking like our lessons from that. What we can use, what we can't use, what we... cheese strats we can learn, stuff like that, you know.
RFA on Rubik, Johnny on Mars, Prey on Spirit Breaker, and Rev on the Troll Warlord. No smokeouts in this early game.
Yeah, these two will play very slow.
Is it going to be enough? Remember, Zeus can scout that little crab inside his sand pit. Is there any vision here for him to get the charge? There is. They're onto Johnny again. But there's the defensive disruption we were talking about. Johnny doing his best to try and get out of there, but there is a Zeus.
Hopefully they don't like have a triple lane stomp into a 20-minute match. I'm expecting some good, healthy Dota here, some good team fights. I don't know, maybe just Brawlhalla. Something everyone can enjoy.
Ursa lurking on the side. In comes Axe with a phenomenal call. Down goes the SD and down goes the Tiny immediately. Huncho gets a stun off in return and doesn't have time to get his ult off. The Morphling doing what he can to put some damage on, but the IO now Tiny, Gubala, Gachi. You guys need to be a little bit careful because there is an entire dire team right on top of you. But he does once again get the scythe off onto the troll. He needs to be careful here. He gets the stun out in return, but it looks like there is some dust on top of that big space cow. And in just a moment, we'll see a dunk on top of Huncho. RFA can't save him from that one.
The Dagon cup.
Axe snatched it up, and it looks like the Axe secures the Wisdom Rune. I think they're having some fun. I think they're feeling themselves in this game. So good to see that even in a comp setting, these boys can still be enough to burst through these heroes, and they knew it, right?
He had the net worth doing well, but the problem is the rest of his team got a bit sacked. I think they're not going to go back to the drawing board, but they're definitely going to fifth on the net worth, but he's behind all 3 enemy cores, and all enemy cores are starting to itemize against him. You're going to see the Eternal Shroud on the Troll, you're going to see the Eternal Shroud on the Mars. They're just skipping BKB
Not much of a gap. they're looking. They're looking. Axe is here, gets the blink call once again, throws the Dagon out and drops the and aftershock. And there was some interaction there that would permanently lock people into a stun. So hopefully they don't pick a punch and we don't see that sort of action. Hey, Troll comes out. So as someone who loves the save support, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm known for my Earth Spirit, but I love Io. I just love that hero so much. I also love Oracle. I've played into Fat Bear underneath their tier 3, but they sort of have enough to deal with him. He posts his BKB and just wants to pour it out of there. But now Zeus and Winxing need to be careful because the rest of the team is going to be running after them. No vision.
But here's
Axe lurking on the side. For a second and grabbed midair. They do have that big scary Undying on top of them. It looks like Reverie's deciding to deal with the tombstone as quickly as he can. He doesn't want that in his fight, and down.
Spirit Breaker will opt to charge middle for like the 4-minute rune, the 2-minute rune. He won't actually play bottom very much, and unfortunately I think it's going to sack the Mars just a little bit too much here. Because the Necro's going to Necro no matter what. You can't actually...
And the Axe comes in.
Ruby gets it.
Trying to secure the double
63
rampage.
armor stack. 31.5 armor. Harvested by Axe. And I mean
58k lead, by the way.
But we don't have an expected winner, I wouldn't say, out of any of these. It could really go any way between like the top 3 or even the top 5.
So put me in the mindset of... Does Johnny just have a magnet on top of him? Because this Mukau cannot stop charging immediately at Johnny. And there's no ports to save him this time. Gets a stun out, but it's too late. And the bear is just going to eat him for breakfast.
And that's better.
Sideline, and I think Johnny's in a whole lot of trouble as that Axe is trying to blink and dunk. Gets the Battle Hunger off, and there's the dunk.
Oh. RFA needs to be at nothing. So he's not out of it yet, you know? He will still be one to watch. Once he gets his 6, and once he makes like maybe a power rune rotation if he's lucky.
Not respecting this Io guy. That's what I'm seeing, right? This is the power of Io. This is why it's one of my favorite heroes. People think that this hero is boring. I get told all the time, Io's boring to play.
I'm glad they're finally moving the Io up top, because a lot of the kills RFA's gotten have just been on the edge of he's playing max limits. If you add one more hero into the mix, it doesn't work. Oh my god.
Down by Kubala again! Kubala just making this guy's life absolute just absolute hell, dude! Christ, Kubala, give him a break! Give him a goddamn break!
That guy's not squishy by any means.
None of these, none of the universal heroes are squishy. God, and it's the worst, dude.
Charge on top. This could be a breakout.
Hold on. And his team is here. Out comes the ult. Johnny gets the swap off to try and interrupt that Shadow. Oh, hang on. Shadow Demon is on the sideline. Can he throw any?
Alright, so on Slaughter Gang, we got Huncho George. He's well renowned with a lot of his mid laners. I have a feeling his Snapfire might see some action tonight, maybe some bans. RF till this part, it is literally an 8-pick in Ridya Masters, and it could even be an 8-pick in Oz as well. But they're just not favoring picking it too early and having too bad.
17 minutes, White Glint. 13k at 18 minutes. Holy! Let's go, Reject. Show them how it's done.
I don't really have stable hero. I've seen Reverie play it over the years, something he enjoys. I think the problem with second pick here, that like dire second pick, is I
played into Rev quite a bit, and I've played both his Naga and his Troll, and they are spooky heroes when they are in his hands. So I get it, massively. But it just needs to be saved for the defense in a losing game. And I keep seeing him like grabbing Gachi or grabbing the Axe or grabbing the Spirit. Are going to get stunned in your Sandstorm, you know? Is it going to outrank? Hang on, hold on. They've got Johnny again, and he's been Spirit Breaker ult back onto the high ground. He gets the swap to try and get away. Hunter's here with the Shiva.
But he has a Maelstrom, so he can actually get his farm up. And the Lil Shredder with Ricochet 2 does so much damage.
Oh,
Cannot understate it.
Spirit Breaker ult onto Io. Io's looking to tether back into the
Tower.
tower. She gets the scatter shot off so that she can sort of slip away there, but she still is very low, and Rubik has a fair bit of right-click damage. Down goes Gubala to the Rubik's. Oh, Tiny pushed off the haste, and the deny comes out from RFA. Alright, RFA. Yeah, take the high five. Sorry, you were saying?
Rip Harold's.
Traditional, and not super strong. But there are a lot of answers to Morphling on support heroes. Nope, they decide to take the axe. That's a classic Morphling
So,
right there.
okay, what you're saying is not completely wrong, right? I understand they just completely fucked the tower. That's massive, yeah, that is absolutely massive for Radiant. That's like a 2k gold swing and a 2k experience swing. That's gonna nullify a lot of the advantage that, sort of...
There can be a huge amount of burst coming out from either of these heroes at any moment, so keen to watch this in action.
Another reason you won't see a lot of action in the bottom lane is the spell lamp. Oh my god, 65% movement speed as damage. What the hell is that?
Isn't Tiny supposed to be one of the thickest heroes this meta, even as a support? By the way.
Oh, I've been disconnected.
Oh, looks like they're doing what they can to get on top of Johnny once again. Johnny running as fast as he can, and they do manage to get him. Huncho pops the ult and jumps in, but that damage just doesn't seem to matter.
The banner on bottom can be broken fundamentally sometimes, but the Aghanims is always like, it's a known quantity, right? It's like a 7,000 gold item, just about. Or is it 60? Sorry, 6,200?
42 there to secure that kill.
Harold's getting rich here. Okay, you saw the impact this guy had last game with no gold.
Oh, meanwhile, Reveries down again.
The blink reveal. Oh my god, I've missed it twice.
It's a run, but that's a little cheeky kill to the bear there.
First hit bash, man.
What I was gonna say,
the dire vision, 2 wards, one of them old, one of them placed just as the fight breaks out, and it's just turning into a bit of a vision difference here. Necro got a lot of damage out that fight, but it's just nothing in comparison to with the global cow is insane. And now he's starting to charge through waves. He has the 25% greater bash damage on level 25. He has all these items. This guy worked for them. I think the Tiny might get let through, because just showing that even if he has such a bad lane, that he's unable to recover and actually, like, he did a lot of work, right? You look at his net worth and you think about how much impact he had during the
game get called 27 minutes, was it?
I think it was like 27. I said it was quite fast. They might just do the same here. I mean, sure, Radiant don't have like a lot of build.
That no matter what, I'm in this game. We see this the Shadow Fiend be banned out and the Phoenix. A lot of bans. Those two, yeah, they've been copying a lot of bans there. And then
been so long between lanes, he doesn't actually like. He can just charge through a wave and it's pushed, and then from there he can place a deep ward that you're not expecting because he's so stupidly. This is a Midas Spirit Breaker as well. We haven't commented on it yet, but because of the Spirit Breaker facet, you can just see how much they're winning out on EXP on Dire, even with all like to what lane they'll be going.
Oh, we have an Invoker. How bloody exciting! God, I love Invoker. I don't play the hero, but I love seeing it played well. And here we have it.
Be more patient with these disruptions. He's just getting slightly the wrong hero.
I think also, as a Shadow Demon player, I can tell you that all too often you want to use that disruption offensive. Kills on him. Well, let's have a look. Only 3 showing for his kills.
31.
Holy!
That's a lot,
46 assists on this.
Meant to be. We have another charge onto Johnny. Let's see how much damage this one does.
Johnny. I wish there was a charge counter, because that bull has been bullying you all night. The Zeus is coming to truce the most broken hero in Dota, and he's not going to just take the Morphling, he's going to take the Shadow Demon as the Axe blinks in with the dunk! Let's go, Gubala! What is this Axe player? Wow, he is ripping and tearing! One here, or are they running the Tiny as a 1?
So, AE Rejects have done something brilliant here. Gubala has played Snap 3 earlier in the tournament. Snapfire can be a mid.
Annoying purple ball to release their target. So, yeah, alright. I
I
don't know.
I think that 2.5 seconds will make the difference in this kind of lineup. Giving the Venge time to line up the swap, giving the Tiny time to come in with the...
Ooh, that Mars might be in trouble if he stays just a little bit longer. Scattershot comes out from the Rubik to get the slow off, and they have to choose a target now. If you chase two rabbits, you won't catch either. That Rubik is leaving! Yeah, on the snap as well. So, well, looks like they've found Necro. Troll immediately on top of him. Charge comes out. Troll's gonna just start punching him as fast and hard as he can. And I think these guys may be in the finals, and you are unlucky enough to not make it to the finals, which I think is very unlikely. Yeah. I've seen your gyro. Your gyro's gonna rip all the way to the finals. But if you're not, and these guys make it, maybe I'll hit you up again to.
Going against a Spirit Breaker, a Troll, and a Mars is going to be almost impossible to have a lot of like momentum and actually play well with the win. So I'm honestly not sure why they picked it here. But this kind of does lock in their picks. These are big kills. They're feeding like massive streaks. They really need to get serious on the Australian rejects and finish this match.
Oh, Gachi.
Oh, he's on
jumping on top of Morphling. Morphling's just going to waveform away.
The entire map, just building the network leads. I think Reverie sees the top lane, looks good. And Axe is waiting for him up there as well.
Johnny, 200 gold. And the Troll might have to pop ult here if he wants to have any chance of surviving it. Though I don't think he can survive. I think he decides to try and take someone out with him, and it's going to be Gabala. Huge!
Oh, the mech!
Oh, the mech! Big save! Stops that. The micro. And again, Hunter doesn't respect it, gets caught out, and this time he brings a Necro for the Necro stacks. How many stacks does he have now? Let's have a look. Three sides.
He is currently on 3 with...
See draft from Radiant. To me, I'm seeing Radiant here with a really oddball draft that they're not going to draft these heroes unless they think they work together, and they might be cooking some... Oh, this IO. The IO gank is here, and then we see the tiny toss, and that is an enormous amount of damage. They try for the beach ball play. It doesn't really play off. The Troll ult is out. Can he get the root? No.
100% you are 100% going to get, but because he opted not to go the Blink Dagger, he just doesn't. And it doesn't impact Gooby at all. Wowee.
Now the charge out on Johnny.
This would just go back into his roots of like playing LD, playing all these really memey pos ones. Maybe they get Gooby on Razor or something. I think it was completely overlooked. I don't even think it was banned. I don't know how to do that.
I didn't see Lord.
These Greaves on Winching are doing God's work for him. And it's insane. So they did change the Roshan's banner. It's not going to leave the lasting buff on them anymore. So these creeps are just going to be standard creeps. Just be because of what the players play here. Like, obviously, you don't see a lot of Axe at Riyadh, but you see a lot of the Willow and the Hoodwink that kind of prevents it, and the Underlord where...
Johnny is duking and diving in the trees, but just can't quite make it there. That was so much damage from the toss, the avalanche, the scatterblast.
Now.
Holy! A whole bunch of damage, and Johnny goes down. There is a bear lurking on the sidelines. No, it's Gubala, once again, jumping on those supports on the back line. Gubala having a phenomenal game, this game. Oh,
Morphling 1, there it is. Yeah. That's another Reverie hero. He's getting 1v9 on this shit.
People take this Shadow Demon, they often put it as a pos 4 because of its ability to stack, right? It can stack both of the ancient.
They cast the Disruption instantly on the Spirit Breaker, which didn't last at all. And then he gets baited into thinking he can go on the Shadow Demon, but then...
Oh, missed Axe call! Drops the Dagon and then drops the is Bloodsport.
Yes, I was going to say this as well.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the stream why Bloodsport is absolutely nuts?
Yes, so when you have somebody trapped in an arena, usually...
So much to keep its pos 1 alive in lane, keep the pos 4 busy, so I'd prefer to see it as a 5, especially if there's a Venji in the game. Now this Ursa has also... shot up in the meta at the moment, right? Snapfire's here. Does the Snapfire have ult? He does. Ooh, big whirlwind, but that EMP is going to do a whole lot to these Universal heroes. They're just completely out of mana. Dive from the Spirit Breaker. Can they kill that Snapfire the moment you get back top of that Morphling? There is the save we were talking about, though. Is it enough to keep this Morphling alive? The swap gets him away. You mentioned that earlier, that Venji would be there to swap afterwards. And now they may just lose Johnny instead of... out, pins the IO to the wall, and now Gachi, caught out of position, might be a big scary undead Necro, but needs to be careful. Takes out the Invoker. I didn't even see Invoker on the backline. Here's the first Snapfire ult we've seen of the game, and down goes Rubik.
The upper division is very healthy this season. We actually have 7 teams this time. A lot of them are relatively balanced compared to each other. We don't have like there are maybe like 1 or 2 teams who might end up being the favorites.
Just a bit of vision, a little bit more chase to sort of get the heroes that you want inside. So it's really, really, really quite good. I'm a big fan of it, but I'm always going to take Promulgate because I'm a lane bully and I prefer to have a secured lane. Jeez, that toss damage is bonkers. Wow.
Yeah, that was half Invoker's health. That was 3 creeps kills. That's insane. Absolutely insane.
Looks like Tiny's now heading top to grab himself that boundary.
Only you until you lose the game with the hunters. It's hilarious. Shadow Fiend ban from
Shadow Fiend ban. I was just about to say we've seen this iterated. Snapper likes to fire her ult here, but she's next to a troll that has his own ult. Toss forward onto the other heroes to get a little bit of a stun. The good comes out to root him in place, and now Tiny's caught out of position by Andros, and he is gone as well.
Did his own reflexes and is now unable to get the strength morph off from the axe, and that's why he's been dying this like
yeah, me too.
Times.
That's why I always get docked as Morphling as well.
Exactly, yeah.
A
little bit tip.
They've got an execution in mind. There's the Mars band. There's the Rubik band. You called that. And they
I didn't
take
call
the
the Mars band, but they steal the Spirit Breaker, so that's gonna flip it.
Magnetize. A stun had come out from a support to keep me in position, and then that Dagon burst was enough to just keep me alive, keep me in the fight. Especially now he's lost his strength scaling.
And 3 Mars, they're just gonna play around the arena, I think. They'll play slow.
Seems simpler to execute, right? Like it's a Mars ult,
yes,
it's a troll ult, it's an Invoker winning his lane and rotating. Like this seems like the
We would have had a much closer mid game, but just having a Necro that's top net worth the entire game and still being down 2k just based off lanes is really rough.
Rubik doesn't get the chance to snatch that one back. Maybe a little bit of a misplay there, being a little bit too far forward, not respecting the reload.
The arena was beautiful, but they tornadoed. Well, a bit sleepy because they kind of like imploded off the lanes, but game 2, oh my.
Spicy, absolutely spicy. Well, I'll tell you what, if I do end up casting...
needs to get the Galepnia early. And he never made it to 4 stuff. That's just how bad of a game he had, unfortunately. And I honestly do think this game would be completely different if top lane actually went well for the AU rejects.
They decide not to bring the vision to save the to kill the Invoker, and the Invoker is saved. Just walking away there. Young Harold strolling back to mid. Tiny trying to give him some mana. Fade Bolt, but Raccoon gets the power shot in return and kills the troll! Looks like the Mukau has come to play. Raccoon doing her best to try and get out of there, but they're on top of her and another blood grenade goes out. Gets off the wind run, she's running, but the zap again from Ricochet. So we get the Rubik 5. So Snap does elect to be the position 3. I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot of play in this bottom lane. As long as charge now in onto Shadow Demon, and he's used his disruption on that Gachi to try and keep him off him, but he couldn't keep that big old Mooncow from just charging in, and that Mooncow didn't die earlier, so he's able to keep playing this game.
Easily 1,000 during fights. And this can be further enhanced with like Bloodstone if you ever get down that far. You ever get like the absurdly tanky parts. But yeah, the hero...
Spirit Breaker draws a line towards the Tiny and the Io.
It will just be doing some kind of counter on whatever mid that is picked.
Perfect. Yeah, but we see the Necro come out. Now Necro IO is a combo, and a pretty spooky dooky combo. The heal is yesterday or the day before. That ability to give his pos 5. And potentially a core if they're having a bad game, but to give his pos 5 that XP boost, you know, even if you're up to 20%. And then even if you don't take that absolutely nuts facet, which I think you'd be crazy not to, his other facet, the illusion facet, is also
10 regen, 10 HP regen, and 5 mana. I mean, like, he's just not respecting the toss damage. He's expecting the
IO. Spirit Breaker decides he wants to take this kill on his own. Down goes Wing Ching.
Unfortunate. best heroes, and he's just RFA just laying down the law with this Rubik. Insane. That's
Okay.
definitely getting banned. You're not going to
Yeah.
see that game here.
I mean, it's a Grandmaster hero. These comfort picks, man. They do what they do. Favoring here. It looks like some really interesting
Ooh.
matchups and some straight.
There's a lot of
Straight top
comfort going around here. I
Okay, cool.
honestly say I slightly favor the Dire here because when hand this axe, so they're gonna have to do stacks for the axe because he's gonna slightly lose lane into the Morphling Shadow Demon because like it's a hard lane. It just I'm not sure how they're gonna make up the difference and actually hit their timings.
I get it.
They just don't know the Rosh is happening on Dire. They could honestly contest with like the fact there's only 2 heroes from Radiant in the pit or even nearby. They're just so spread out farming. Invoker was like they saw every mid laner they could put on the Radiant team into it, and they decided Invoker will just win all these matchups, which is kind of rough for a Tiny, unfortunately.
Raccoon is
What the
diving and
hell?
down goes Tiny
The
as well.
entire
That's a
team is
5-man
dead.
wipe. It's a 5-man wipe.
The entire team is gone. They're all gone. What the hell?
Win decides to just let that IO burn. Okay.
It's a throwaway. It's a throwaway IO.
Yep.
If he ever gets caught, you don't really care too much. It's But yeah, you can just see how much like this Tiny does, right? This guy got absolutely jibbed in lane, and he does one toss combo, and that's 2/3 of an Invoker's health pool, and that's an 1800 health Invoker.
Your eyes are probably fixed on Riyadh. Are you taking any lessons from what's been happening in the group stages of that so far?
I have a feeling, yeah, at least one player on all these teams, I can almost
If he gets the space he's been having.
if he can make a play off a Naked Radiance, yeah, but you still got to respect the fact that he only has 1,000 health.
Right? Oh, power shot just misses. Oh, it was so. And I feel like we see more of these. Monkey goes. Good to see Monkey. It looks like Slaughter Gang are focusing some real meta heroes rather than target banning, at least from what I can understand. Yeah. Nice for the rest of Radiant to turn up there. I think if they lose that Necro, not so good for them. It might slow their tempo down a little bit, so...
Yeah. Gachi's getting close to his first stop him. And top lane, there's going to be like a bit of actual play. 2 Universals on Radiance, both ranged. It's a lot of damage. You can catch anyone off guard. Even Reverie and RFA.
Looks like Raccoon wants to dive, he wants that Rubik, but the Blood Grenades has come out on Raccoon himself, and he goes down, and now Gubala in a bit of trouble. That troll has a wand. Gubala, you need to run, and that's it. That's a double kill in the top lane, straight off the... Yeah. Gachi's going to try and man-fight the Reverie here. Reverie switching to Strength to try and get away, and it looks like he may just do it. Shadow Demon pops the ult on top of Gachi. They're thinking about it, but the rest of the bear is on top of the Shadow Demon, but the bear is also underneath 2 towers, and there's a whole lot of armor there to keep those boys safe. Toss back, and out of position, straight to that Sand King. He's stunned under 2 towers, and he is eliminated. So much representation in the pro scene, and it is just completely unrepresented in the Australian Dota scene. It's just one of the best heroes in the game. So I am so stoked. Wind Ranger though, Wind Ranger getting the run off, but I do hear a Spirit Breaker ult on the side, and it looks like Necro's been caught out of position. Does get the scythe off though before he goes down, so he doesn't go down empty-handed.
Having me on, I appreciate it. It's an amazing series to watch. I was going to watch it anyway, and I'm glad we could have a really fun time while watching it, because my god, they put on a show game 2. Game 1 was a bit of a...
And it's having a pretty good game. We haven't really felt Necro's impact in this early game, and I didn't really expect to see Necro have much impact, especially from position 1, right? He just wants to farm.
Yeah.
Charge coming from the Spirit Breaker. We wonder if Johnny can get safety before he gets here. Toss back.
He might have missile up.
Staying
I
under
don't know
the
if he's going to be
tower.
able to connect on charge.
Missile is going to be up, but he's going to be coming out of those
Oh,
trees.
he's
And
walking through the
Johnny.
tree! Yes.
Okay, so
oh my
where's
God, yeah.
we're
Every
seeing
game.
we are seeing it better again. We're seeing Invoker really take a bit of a lead here in the mid lane. I think I
Yeah.
expected that, right?
100%, yeah. So the
Diadem too. It felt like they were on the back foot the entire game, and we saw how good these players can play. We saw how strong they were in the first game. Slaughter Gang absolutely killed it, and yet all of a sudden, God, they have so much HP. Is Spirit Breaker still the highest HP level 1 hero in the game? I think he is. It shocks me how much HP this guy has early on. It's just nuts. It's just bonkers. Reverie on the low ground. I'm not sure you should be there, mate. I think you should be nice and safe behind those tier 3s. They do scout him on vision. Reverie's thinking about maybe making a play here.
Spirit Breaker could just be the hero of this series.
Tiny is very far forward now and surrounded by a whole bunch of heroes. His ward catches them and all of a sudden his sphincter